Hi guys, welcome back. It's Jessie with FoodNet Meals on Wheels again, and today we're going to be making overnight oats, but with applesauce. So it tastes a lot like apple pie. And you can make this the night before and leave it in the fridge, and then you'll have breakfast all ready to go in the morning. So you're going to need some rolled oats, some milk of your choice. I prefer almond milk or low-fat milk or skim milk works great. But any milk will do. Low fat Greek yogurt, you can use plain or vanilla. Other flavors might be okay, but choose wisely. And then no sugar added applesauce. Some nuts if you'd like. I'm using some pecans. And then to season it, we're going to use some ground cinnamon and vanilla extract. And if you don't have vanilla extract, that's totally okay. It tastes great without it. And then also, if you'd like to add some sweetener, you could do some honey or maple syrup if you'd like, but I'm going to do it without a sweetener because the applesauce is pretty sweet on its own. So one of the best parts of this recipe is that it calls for oats, and aside from being really rich in multiple vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, oats are a great source of fiber. They contain a soluble fiber called beta-glucan, and this fiber forms a gel in your stomach. So it creates this gel-like substance that's really important for removing cholesterol from your stomach. And it also helps control your blood sugar and increases your satiety, which means that it helps you feel full for a lot longer throughout the day. And aside from these health benefits, oats are super inexpensive. And they store really well. So it's a great ingredient to have around the house for any baked goods or to eat for breakfast. And we're also going to be using applesauce today. And applesauce is a great alternative if you have poor dental health or chewing an apple is really difficult or painful for you, because both apples and applesauce are really high in vitamin C, and they also contain some fiber, which vitamin C is really important for your immune system, as we've discussed previously, and it plays the role of an antioxidant in your body, so it helps prevent cell damage. Applesauce is also a great alternative to apples for cooking, because you can use applesauce in place of oil in a lot of baked goods in a 2-to-1 ratio. So if a recipe calls for 1 cup of oil, you can substitute a half of a cup of applesauce. And when you're shopping for applesauce, you'll definitely want to purchase the unsweetened kind, because the apples are naturally sweet on their own. So you don't really need all of the added sugar that comes with it. And similar to the oats, applesauce is pretty inexpensive and keeps for a lot longer than apples. So it's a great alternative to still get your fruit in, even if you aren't able to eat apples in their regular form. And then comparing applesauce to apple juice, it's important to note that applesauce has a lot more fiber than apple juice. So if you have to pick between the two, I would definitely recommend going with an applesauce, because applesauce has the pectins that kind of give it that more chunky texture than apple juice on its own has. So it's higher in fiber and therefore healthier. So to get started, we're going to measure out the oats, and this recipe calls for a half of a cup of oats. So we'll go ahead and find our half cup, and we're just going to dump everything into the same container, which makes this recipe super great and easy to follow. And not a lot of dishes as well, which is always a perk. So I'm going to use a mason jar for my container, but if you don't have a mason jar, you can use anything that has a lid and can be shaken. So here's our half cup. And then next, we're going to need a 1/3 of a cup of unsweetened applesauce. And you can see that the applesauce is pretty chunky, but also soft enough that if you have dental issues or jaw pain, it makes it really easy to eat still. So there's our 3rd cup of applesauce. And then we're also going to need a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, which, as you've learned, is one of my favorite ingredients. So here's our 1/4 cup. We can put that right in the applesauce and the oats. All right. And then we're going to use 1/2 of a cup of your milk of choice. So this could be almond milk, which is what I'm using, or you could use a low-fat dairy milk if you aren't lactose intolerant, or soy milk. All right. And then next we're going to add some flavor, just to make it a little bit more fun. So I'm going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon. And nutmeg would also taste great in this. Give it a little bit of an apple pie seasoning. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then if you'd like, you can also add a teaspoon of some chopped nuts. So I'm going to use some pecans right here and just chop them into smaller pieces. But of course, if you don't like nuts or you prefer something other than pecans, you can use something different. So I'm going to put these right into my container. And now we're just going to put the lid on and shake it. And the same property of the oats that gives it a gel-like substance in your stomach and helps remove all of that cholesterol will absorb all of the liquid in this. So right now it looks kind of like a soup. You can see it. It's really liquidy. You probably wouldn't want to eat it like this, but if you put it in the fridge for 4 hours or more, it'll start to get thick and give it a really nice creamy texture. So we'll shake it and then let it sit for just a couple minutes so it can settle, and then we'll shake it again. So I'll clean up in the meantime. All right, so it started to settle again, and we'll give it one more nice quick shake and then stick it in the fridge. All right, so you can leave this in the fridge for 4 hours or many more if you'd like to, and by the time the 4 hours are up, it'll be nice and creamy and makes for a great breakfast or snack. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day, guys.